Lucinda and I found more and
I hit the
record.
record button. I
That's
think
just
we're
me.
good.
We're good? Okay, good.
It says recording at the top for me.
Yes,
Okay.
me too.
We're even. There's 5 in the other group. So I'm like, well, I'll go over here.
Yeah, perfect.
So I was thinking ahead and, oh, it's still in the chat. So it's in the chat what we're supposed to be doing. A lot of times when you go to breakout rooms, it's disappeared, but it's still in the chat. So we're doing B, employee sponsored childcare benefits and incentives.
So I think we need to find a model. Do we like a couple models to, in my mind, if you are trying to sell it to a Blue Buffalo or a Hills or whoever, if you've got a model that's already working, how does that look? Because it's kind of like this work-based learning. We're trying to make it easier for them. You know, the largest amount that you can do for the employer is is easier for them. I mean, they're all tapped out, stressed out. If the option is figure out a way to work on this or not, they're gonna not when they're so busy. But if you say company is doing this and company is doing this, maybe between the two of them we could find something that could work for your organization.
But I would also caution you that a company needs to also be successful in what they're trying to do.
Correct. And that's my piece is where do we find that? Because I know I haven't talked to Misty lately, but the Sugar Creek model is the best one we have here in Wayne County, and it's had its ups and downs. I mean, Jennifer's shaking her head. I mean, it's had its ups and downs.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what Jennifer said about the make it work for me, because it's unfortunate, but we all know childcare providers can't stay open 24/7. It's not feasible. It's not fiscally responsible. They are not able to do it. But I can tell you right now, I have so many manufacturing facilities over here that are shorthanded, that are running 12s, and how do you make that look? I mean, and I can tell you, I know at Menasha right now, they're not finding out till the end of their shift if they have to stay. So that means if you are a first shift person at Menasha, you work until you have a half an hour with your lap over with your oncoming shift because they run 3.
What?
Like literally 30 minutes before your shift is
Thank
up, they're
you.
coming to say, and you have to stay an extra 4.
Are you better?
So
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
that's a harder sell, I think, for us to our employer, our manufacturing type employers. So that's where I think we got to see if we can have some kind of models that maybe we could expand on. I think it will help us in that realm.
And I think it has to be a comparable company. Like saying Toyota is doing it is not going to resonate with a smaller company. They're going to say that's something big companies can do.
Right. And that's where, like some of the case studies that are out there with these employers that have implemented the on-site childcare, Tyson being one of them. Tyson is huge.
But
I do.
Portland's Tyson doesn't have on-site childcare. Like they're
No,
not
because
like
they don't
that.
have a number I heard from Tutris, and so this has been several years ago, and there have been administration changes since then, was if you are an employer and you have less than 5,000 employees, you can't do an on-site childcare. It is not fiscally sound to do it unless you have that many people.
Jerry and I heard from Early Learning Indiana, the girl that you know that worked there for a minute. It was 10,000.
Yeah. So you think about
And we
our
don't have
region.
employers in our
We don't
region
have,
have
yeah,
that.
we don't have anybody in our region that has that many. I mean,
So, the more responsible thing is to say, don't open your own, partner with somebody
but
who's already out there. But how do
doing
we
it.
do that? So right now they've got seats, but they don't necessarily have the employees to watch or to be the professionals to keep the kids if they fill the seats. And it's so gray in how we say partner with them and say, all right, let's say you'll support 3 seats or something, then are they paying for that? If they use it, how do they hold it?
Well, I
Like
can tell you right
understanding
now,
those processes is
Sugar
really
Creek
tricky.
pays for X seats, and I have not asked Misty what that number is right now. They pay for X seats whether they have one employee using it or not. That's the deal that they have. Because
across the board usually.
yeah, because Misty can't stay open without that guaranteed money from them. So that is an effective cost of doing business for Sugar Creek. Um, so
And
All
they're
right, Pat, let
unique.
me throw this.
Go ahead. I would just say they're unique. We have so many of our larger employers that are not locally or even close to locally owned or operated. Like 3M is global. Those decisions are being made elsewhere. They don't understand what the impact is locally. And we're not going to be able to convey that to the people there. Like Magna Powertrain here, people in Canada are making those decisions. They don't understand that it's not like universal childcare. Like that's dumb.
So Teresa, is there any, and some of the others may know this too, solution or strategy out there that a larger company or a company that has some of the, say, budgeting or tax or financial things could help support a child care by covering those services? Or we know how important keeping a steady director is. Could they help support the position of the director and relieve that expense? My thought is that would be such a good way to support them in business terms. Are there any strategies out there, or would businesses laugh at that suggestion?
if they're not getting something for it, they're not going to do it. That like I can tell you right now, just on the committees I sit on over here, we are like they're tapped out. You know, I've got some that are still worried about the tariffs and how that's going to look. Um, so, Sugar Creek has done it, and they're a model compared to other places. Blue has been over to meet. We went over to meet with Misty to see how that could look if they would subsidize some seats in her new one that she opened on the west side. So we're trying to see how that could look. Misty's lucky, and uh, she's not really a model we can follow because she does not take vouchers. She is all 3 of her facilities, and she's got Cambridge City, she's got 2 in Richmond, she's got 1 in Liberty. None of them take vouchers. So she does
Do
her
they have
fund.
sliding scales,
They
sliding
have
fees,
they have sliding scales, fee, and scholarships.
and
So
scholarships?
so her fundraising that she does, whether it's the annual appeal, the Christmas tree farm, the money that she makes from the Y down there, the memberships, they've got workout equipment, classes, and all the things. All of those things, anything extra that she makes goes into the fund. And then they got a huge donation from one of our very engaged local families when one of the wives passed away, and that is what she uses. So they look at the amount and then they give everybody gets a break. So the CCDF voucher, so it's hard for us to use her as an example to some places when you look at the impact, when we try to show the impact of the vouchers, because it does not impact her. And she chose her model many years ago for it not to impact her because she used to be on city council. She's run for mayor. She understands the politics and she knows how it works. She knew sooner or later that funding was going to go away, and she made her model without it.
Jerry, I'm wondering about the IWU partnership with Danny and Wendy, if there might be some parts of that model that could be replicated in other fields.
I don't know enough about it to have an answer for that.
I
Is
mean,
that partnership different than their other partnerships that they have? Or
well,
Natalie, do you know
I
how
think
that one works?
IWU was able
have
to,
no idea.
I think IWU was able to use some of their own dollars as the investment. It wasn't all on Danny and Wendy to fundraise um, for those. And I'm so sad Jennifer didn't cover Grant County because she would know all the ins and outs to say yes, this is
Yeah.
good or no.
Well, all I know about that is I know that IWU already had a childcare. So I don't know how that partnership works, if they're using the space that had been previously designated as a childcare.
And what happened to the previous operator?
Right.
Which, if you didn't know, Purdue, one of their childcare is closing that was operated by Early Learning Indiana,
Mm.
I saw that.
which is crazy.
Hmm.
Like, nobody's going to make more money than people at Purdue.
I know.
How do we connect the providers that have openings that, how do we connect them to employers? Because, I think that we're missing out on an opportunity. If we know we have an employer that has employees that needs care, and we know that we have, baby blue childcare that has openings, how do we get those two connected so that there's a partnership there? I mean, it doesn't even have to be that the employer is paying for seats. It could just be a shared information so that those employees know it's in their onboarding packet. If you need childcare, contact this person. How do we get that collaboration done?
Silly
And
Jennifer,
keep
that's a
it
CCR&R
going.
role. They're clearly not important at this moment in time. I mean, that's what you would do.
I know. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
That's what
Well, so in Wayne County, if I had a list, I would put it in my folder that I take out on my BR&E visits.
Hmm.
You should write that down as a to-do for your
Need
coalition
an
when you get
updated
funds.
list of childcare
Mhm.
providers.
Mm-hmm.
I will send
So,
you one
so
probably
when
this
I
the
go
next week.
to visit my employers, so in my role, and pretty much every ED across our region has somebody in this role that's doing BR&E. And for those that don't come from economic development world, that's business retention expansion visits. So I have a folder that I take out and it has different flyers in it. So can everybody see this?
Mhm.
Woo! So this is my flyer right now for the Make My Move program that our office is doing, which pays an individual $5,000 if they relocate to Wayne County to take a job with one of our employers. So I have stuff in that folder on achieve your degree Ivy Tech programs that they can get training. I have a flyer on this. I have a flyer on Department of Corrections. So I do a lot of work with Sherm Johnson for people that have been incarcerated that when they get out, they get dumped back in the community from whence they came. And so I would like for them to be dumped back into Wayne County with a skill set that I can immediately find them a job. So
Mhm.
I have a flyer about in there that talks about that. So I think that's a huge way that we could lean on our economic development organizations in our region to share that message. Now, Pat and I working with Jennifer, that's what I'm going to ask Jennifer's consulting to be for us when we meet with Jennifer, is to get me an accurate current list of the child care providers in Wayne County that I can share out with our employers. But I think that is a good way that our coalitions could partner with their local economic development organizations, which also helps them in the lovely world that is the political arena that we live in now. It doesn't hurt to have those connections. Corey Murphy's, he's a great guy. He's the head of economic development for Henry County. He's a great guy, but I can tell you right now, he's a no bullshitter kind of guy. Like he'll call a spade right off the rip. But I'm certain he would be happy when he goes out on things to say, you have employees that need childcare. Here's some information on that for you. He's not going to be an expert. He's not going to sit down and have a conversation with them
Mhm.
about it. But if we get him something like this that has the coalition contact information on it,
Mhm.
he would be
Should
happy
we
to share
do a
that.
version of the one pagers that we have that has some of the data, but has that on it as well?
I think it would
That's
Would
be,
kind
that
of
be helpful?
I think that
that's
tying the data would be really important to employers to say, this is how many employees
yeah.
you're missing out on.
Mhm.
So this is my pile of, do you see this? Track stuff to talk to Pat on Friday so that we can set our meeting up with Jennifer, but I can't set it up till I talk to Pat first about the one pager and the couple of things that I've come up with. But you can't, and I don't mean this to offend anybody, but y'all know I'll say it just how it is. You can't roll up to Blue or Hill. You cannot roll up to these places and get in. Your in has got to be your chamber or your ED organization. That is the only way you are going to get any traction in any of those kind of manufacturing for-profit type facilities. That's my own personal opinion.
Teresa, is that accurate too? That if you have a parent who is an employee there, could an employee get that up the chain and start that as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like
Sometimes.
Making sure that's another
so
option.
here's my tag for how I'm going to try to work it this year with Jennifer and Pat's blessing, because they're, I'm not the feel good fuzzy childcare person. That's them. I'm the what can I do to make it work? So if I have a one pager, I can guarantee you that I can give it to Jody and Lisa at Primex, and they'll run it on their screens in their lunchroom. If I
They
have a
did our
one
flyer.
pager, I can get it to Adam McQueen at the probation office. He can run it on the screen while people are sitting in the probation office waiting to have their appointment that they have to check in. They're also there looking for work. Do you not have childcare? Here, here are some resources for you. We have
Mhm.
to do grassroots to get it out. I think it's the only way it's going to work. But unless we get some traction from those kind of places, we're going to still be having the same conversation a year from now.
And then it
Mhm.
goes back to cost.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting in probation office, you are not also being able to afford childcare. Like,
Are you or are you not?
my
Do
guess
you?
is no, because probation fees are insane.
I don't know that, so I can't speak to that. So I don't know. But so it's the one way I can think of to get information out.
Mhm.
I like it. And that's one I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing.
I would say that that's unique for them. We didn't have a lot of that in Delaware County when I was doing economic development.
Mhm.
Well, even
Really.
in doctors' offices now, they have screens that run
Mm-hmm.
things over and over and over. I wonder if we could get one that was more the medical, the 90% of brain development, the child care that they would do. I don't know what their
We need one that
systems
just
look like.
highlights the problem for people to understand that making the
That's
big
that's
decisions is
the thing.
insane.
People don't know.
I think we have to
Mhm.
leave in 1 minute.
55 seconds and counting.
Yeah,
Last thoughts.
it's the how do we get people to be aware of the problem and how to solve it.
So rolling it at the
At
FSA
FSA.
office, yeah, that place is not going to help. I mean, that's not going to help me here. That's not going to get our employers engaged, because if people are going there, they're probably not working at Blue. But I want them to know that Misty has seats at Blue, or Misty has seats, because then maybe if I get 3 people from Blue to call Misty and say, hey, what about this seat? Or to call Tiny Tots, then maybe Tiny Tots is able to call me or Jennifer or Pat or whoever's on that piece of paper and say, hey, I have 3 people from Blue that reached out about seats. Then that's my in to Blue to call Chris and Ashley and go, what's